This is the Vivo X100 Pro. If you've seen any of my videos lately about this device, then you'll know that I am absolutely in love with it. After using it for a while now, I'm happy to finally do a full review on what I expect to be one of the best, if not the best devices of 2024. You've probably already heard the specs 1,000 times already, but this version I have here is the international version with the Dimensity 9300 and 16GB of RAM, which I also have expanded using the onboard memory all the way up to effectively 32GB. Coming from the Xperia 1 Mark V, which is also a flagship level phone, there's obviously not a whole lot of difference in terms of snappiness and day-to-day use regarding the difference in chipset between the Qualcomm and MediaTek. Basic phone use in terms of social media consumption, web browsing, video streaming, and even photo editing using Lightroom Mobile seem more or less the same between generations. I'm not going to bore you with the benchmark scores, as I don't believe those are really representative of real-world use, and bigger numbers may not always necessarily mean better performance in terms of real-world benefits. Vivo opted for a curved screen on this one, and while the design has been around for years now, I'm still not a fan of it. With a screen resolution of 2800 by 1260, this puts us at around a QHD display with a comfortable 453 ppi. I have no issues in terms of things appearing low res or struggling to read with the screen. I will be honest though, I do sometimes find myself missing the eye-watering 643 ppi display of the Xperia 1 Mark V. Side by side, I can notice the difference, but in everyday usage, I don't find it an issue at all, and the Vivo display gets incredibly bright outdoors, making sure content is still easily viewable even while under the sun. Battery life with the Vivo has been just okay. I'm usually able to make it through the day, but I do wish it had just a bit more longevity. On the flip side of that though, the ability to fast charge it up to 100 watts is incredibly convenient. While there are arguments about whether or not this affects long-term battery health, having the option is better than not having the option. Most of the time, I find myself using a 20-watt brick when I'm not in a rush, but if something comes up suddenly, only 10 minutes on the fast charger can usually get me close to around 50% extra charge. I'm not a big mobile gamer in the sense of most of the reviewers that I see, for example using Genshin Impact as their main metric. I usually stick to things like emulators, Call of Duty Mobile, and the occasional Torque Drift session. All of these games I play using a PlayStation 5 controller connected by Bluetooth. I'm able to run Call of Duty at the maximum graphic settings, and the built-in game mode has some genuinely nice additions. Game frame interpolation can increase normal 60 FPS scenarios up to 90 FPS, which makes navigating the Call of Duty mobile menus feel like a joy as well. As for emulation, I don't do anything too crazy, usually sticking to PSP, DS, and Game Boy Advanced emulators. But I do also emulate PlayStation 2, and it can handle most of the games I play pretty well, including Gran Turismo 4 and Star Wars Battlefront. I was a huge lover of the game Killzone when I was younger, but it tends to crash pretty quickly when emulating. Here's a quick look at some of the gaming mode features as well. Not all features are available for every game though. For example, I can't use the frame rate or resolution increases in Hide IO like I can in Call of Duty. Also, here is a little blast of nostalgia for you. I'd be lying if I said I didn't care about not having a headphone jack, but it kinda is what it is, right? If you opt to play your games or watch your content using the speakers, I don't think you'll be disappointed. The X100 Pro gets exceptionally loud and has really good clarity. At much louder volumes, it seems to be a little ear-piercing in the mids to highs, but at mid-level volumes, it's quite clear and while still being quite louder than the Xperia 1 Mark V at a similar volume level. And now for the most important part of this review, which is of course gonna be these cameras here on the back. So I had originally had like a little script written out. I was just gonna go through it like so, but instead what I think I'm gonna do is just kind of talk freely a little bit for this section, because at the end of the day, it really boils down quite simply. Optically, these cameras on this device are really, really good. Optically, they're amazing, and I think in terms of the main competition, like Apple and Samsung, absolutely, these are going to be better. The telephoto lens here especially is one of, if not the best, that I have seen or tried so far. And the main one and the ultra wide here are also quite good, although I will say I do have a couple issues with the main lens. My biggest problem is going to be with the main one here, I think just due to kind of the footprint of this device. You can see we've already got quite a big bump here on the back. Of course, you're not going to be able to deliver the best optics you can using a full 1 inch type sensor there, with the kind of constraints that you're limited with. So what you end up with is a main camera here whose plane of focus is so thin that it can be really, really difficult to achieve the kind of shots that you might want to achieve, especially with such a wide open aperture on this one. And that's probably my main complaint here with the cameras, actually, is just that main sensor and the way that it handles it. So for example, if you haven't seen my other video already using this lens right here, it is the Moment 58mm. I did it with the Xperia 1 Mark V. This is an awesome lens, but what happens with the Vivo X100 Pro here is it doesn't really end up working out with that main sensor just due to the way that the optics are in this one. It is basically impossible to grab focus on the images with that lens attached. So really, in terms of third-party compatibility with like accessories and stuff, you're going to be struggling a bit with the X100 Pro. Other than that, physically, the cameras are pretty great. I don't have any complaints. Like I said, the telephoto, it's amazing. The close focus is really good. The ultra wide, it seems pretty standard. Just, it is what it is, right? 50 megapixels, I guess maybe you can get some extra detail out of some shots. But yeah, for photography, I think it's really good. It has lots of good features. It has some cool, whatchamacallits, filters. It has a bunch of filters and stuff like that. Although I do wish in the basic mode, if you're shooting in the basic mode, you get a bunch of extra filters. I wish those were available in the pro mode. So for example, I always shoot RAW plus JPEG. It'd be great if I could get a RAW, and then I could choose from the large list of filters that they have in the pro mode as well. But they only offer the three. They offer the textured, the vivid, and the Zeiss neutral, I believe, there for that one. But yeah, that moves us on into video. Video-wise, you have most of the normal offerings, including up to 4K 60 and 8K 30 recording options, although I think you're better off sticking with 4K. There's a surprising lack of different color profiles, and you're basically stuck with the typical saturated smartphone video look. I would have appreciated some more neutral options like they offer with the photo modes. Something really cool though is that you can upload your own LUTs to the cinematic video mode, or use some of the pre-made options to change your colors up on device. So you can see here I'm using the telephoto lens with a style pre-applied here. This is what it looks like. We have the, I think it's at f2.8 right now here, so you can see I've got a little bit of some light coming on me as well with a nice dark background here. It seems that uploading LUTs is only available in the cinematic mode. I wish this was something that we could see in the standard video mode as well, but it's something that we have and I do appreciate having it. And here we've got another style on the main lens, a little bit less light, so you can see what this one looks like as well. I really wish this option was available in the Pro video mode, however, as it just makes sense to me considering it is the mode meant for professionals. Alright, so my conclusion with this one, I've actually been sitting on this video for quite a while. If you haven't probably noticed, I haven't been putting out a lot of videos lately, so I've been really just kind of thinking about it, and I've become quite a bit, I guess, jaded lately in the, not just with YouTube stuff, but just the kind of tech space in general. And so I've been kind of sitting on the video for a while. I've wanted to let my thoughts kind of just sit a little bit more, and at the end of the day, I think this is a good device here. I recommend it if you don't care about doing anything third-party related, because one of my biggest problems here is that you don't get optical image stabilization in third-party apps using that main camera. And this is due to the Vivo development team basically not making it very easy or basically possible to access the OIS here in the main camera. It's the way it is. It's the way that they set up their code. It's the way that they just do it. And I've talked to some third-party app developers, and basically it's on Vivo to fix it. What I do is I reach out to Vivo, I let them know about the problem, I let them know that I would like it fixed, and in return, I get gaslighted by Vivo support. I get told that this is the way it's intended to work. That's not the way it's intended to work, by the way. So something like that. doesn't really sit well with me. So what I'm actually going to end up doing is, believe it or not, I'm going to be selling the X100 Pro here very, very soon. And what I'm actually going to be doing is, hold on, let's pause, put a comment down below. What device do you think I'm going to get? Pause the video. Let's see if you're right. I'm going to be getting the Xiaomi 14 Ultra. So yes, I'm super excited for that. I just got to sell my X100 Pro here. Hopefully I can recover most of the cost of this, considering it's still pretty new. And yeah, I'm going to get the Xiaomi 14 Ultra, and I also plan on getting the photography kit. I think I've talked to a lot of people in the phone and the tech space. A lot of people are really, really liking the 14 Ultra, and best part is it's very, very third-party compatible, which is wonderful. That's it's become really important to me lately. And so, yes, I've enjoyed my time with the X100 Pro here. It's been okay. I've had my my ups and downs with it, of course. But yeah, what I expect is that the Xiaomi is going to be optically the same, if not better. And then I'm also getting third-party support added on top, not to mention the Snapdragon chip as well. Because, as I mentioned earlier, the battery, it's pretty quick to drain on this one here. And so hopefully the Snapdragon chip ends up being better. And yeah, that's where I am with this one. So I'm excited to see where this goes. It may be a little bit before I end up getting the Xiaomi 14 Ultra, just because I got some stuff going on in life. Obviously, I have to sell this off and make sure that I end up getting enough money to buy it. I'm not quite big enough to where I just receive samples and stuff like that. So yes, the benefit to that is you get basically my raw, completely real reaction and review with this stuff. So I think, one more time, just to reiterate, I think this is a pretty good device. Not pretty good, it is really good. Optically, these cameras are really, really nice. And if you don't care about third-party stuff, I think this is a great option for you. I think you'll really, really like it. And yeah, I think it'll last you for a long time to come for sure. But if you are interested in third-party stuff, for example, if you stream from your phone, having optical image stabilization through a third-party app streaming is like really, really important. I hate the way that Vivo responded. It really, really rubbed me wrong, and honestly, they lost a customer because of it. Beforehand, I had expected to stay with Vivo for quite a while, but that kind of response, not very cool. Don't appreciate it, and yeah, maybe I'm petty, so that they lost a customer for that. But in the meantime, let me know down below what kind of videos you want to see. I'm going to be starting to make a little bit more videos lately, get back into it. I've been taking kind of a break from social media in general. It's been pretty good, but what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to be keeping the Xperia 1 Mark V for now for sure. And yeah, and then eventually I will get the Xiaomi 14 Ultra whenever I'm able to do so. So probably in the near future, definitely look out for some more just general street photography videos, probably mostly with the 1.5 and then also with my my Moment lens here as well. I do hope to get some extra lenses as well at some point to test with some different phones and such like that. So yeah, if you haven't seen my Xperia 1 Mark V video using the Moment lens, be sure to go check that out somewhere up there. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Finger guns.